go to our mat. Again, all you need today is a mat. Have your blocks and your strap handy in case we do a pose where you know that you need that extra support or that just extra bit of height. We're going to keep it low-key. I have a goal, and the goal is that we all know that this is a very important time of the full moon. So we're going to learn full moon salutation today. We'll put it together at the end, but we're going to work it in pieces. I always like to work the pieces so you know how they're going to go, you know what they are, and then we put it together and make it a beautiful, beautiful vinyasa. So, feet are together, toes together, inch between your heels. Let's pull up out of those feet, off of those knees. Get that weight off your knees, bring it out of the hips, and place it in that core. Tuck those abdominals in and up under that diaphragm. Shoulders gently rolled back and down. And our arms are just softly hanging at our side. Maybe you can wiggle those fingers. Then take a deep breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And envision that breath circling the body, coming up the back of the body and around the front. And a nice little, I say it's an oval, sort of breathing in a big oval. So inhale up at the back of your body. Exhale down the front. Try and lengthen that breath. Longer inhalations, longer exhalations. And pay attention to taking that breath down into the belly, filling those lungs completely, giving them a little cleaning out. So inhale again, and exhale. Close your eyes, take your total focus to that breath. Feel what it starts to do to the body. You get to calm that body down. That blood pressure immediately drops. The heart rate begins to slow. The muscles relax. And all is right with the world. Drop your chin to your chest. Continue that breathing up the back of your body, down the front. But now let's take that breath into the neck and upper shoulders. Let that head become heavy with each exhalation. 3 breaths here. Now, take right ear to right shoulder. And release that left shoulder. Let it drop away. Then gently take the chin back to the chest. Deep breath here again. And roll left ear to left shoulder. Releasing that right shoulder. Feel the stretch from your ear down your neck into that shoulder. Take your chin back to your chest. Head is heavy once again. Now slowly raise the crown of your head back to the sky. Lengthen your neck. Look over your right shoulder and drop your chin down. Working a little different muscle coming down that neck into that left shoulder. Breath, 3 breaths. Then you're going to bring that head up the same way you dropped it, and then bring it forward. Look over the left shoulder. Drop your chin. Now feel that stretch down the other side of your neck, down into that right shoulder. Three nice long deep breaths. Head comes up and back to center. All right, we're going to start at the top of our mat. So come to the top. Toes are back together, inch between your heels. Arms are at your side. You can bring those hands forward if you'd like. Spread the fingers wide, Tadasana Mountain Pose. And just take a moment to ground those feet into Mother Earth. Now's the time to bring up all those wonderful things that Mother Earth would love to give you. Just breathe them in as they come up through the feet. Today we're going to take them into our heart. Health, compassion, gratitude, joy, love. Just think of anything that you'd like to add. Mother Earth is more than willing to give it to you. So breathe it in. We're going to start today by inhaling, arms to the sky. Bringing the palms of the hands together into prayer, and exhale down. Inhale up, and exhale down. And one more time. Inhale up. This time we're going to swan dive, flat back, forward fold. And as we get halfway down, soften those knees, bring that rib cage to your thighs, fingers and cup palms to the mat. Release your head. Make sure it's relaxed. Here we're going to do our 5 breaths. We're going to get those muscles stretched out in the back of our body. So first breath. Inhale, just lift those hips a tiny little bit. And exhale back down. Inhale, lift again. Exhale down. Inhale, lift. Exhale down. And inhale, lift. Exhale down. And one more time. Inhale, lift. Drawing that rib cage toward those thighs. Let that head be heavy and relaxed. Then I want you to step your left leg back and drop onto that left knee. Come up. Make sure that your right knee is directly over your ankle. And you may want to walk that foot forward a little bit because we're going to take that left leg into a nice hip flexor stretch. Each piece that we do this morning will be part of Moon Salutation, this being the first part. Drop your hands to your sides. I want you to really lengthen that spine. Lift the crown of your head to the sky. And then float your arms up. Palms come together into prayer. And exhale down. Bring your hands back. We're going to step this right leg back and bring that left leg forward. Getting those muscles all ready to work. Again, knee comes over the ankle, putting this right leg now into a nice hip flexor stretch from your waist down to that knee. You're going to feel it. Good stretch. You can start with your hands on your thigh. You can drop them to your side. Lengthen your spine. Lift the crown of your head to the sky. And then take those arms and just bring them up softly together. Deep breath. Inhale, exhale, hands back to the mat. This time, go ahead and bring that right leg back. We're going to sit into child pose here. I want you to think about bringing your ribcage again to those thighs, giving that lower back a nice stretch, and coming down onto your forearms, or you can walk forward and stretch out those arms. and place your forehead on the mat. As you breathe, feel your belly press against those thighs. Feel that stretch down your back. I'm making this a working child pose. A lot of times I'll say rest and recover. Not so much on this one. This one is a good stretch. You can feel it in those thighs, in that lower back, to the arms, into the upper back. And then come up, bringing hands and wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. We're going to go into cow pose, and the one I want you to remember about this today is I want you not only to create a stretch from sternum to chin, but I want you to stretch from sternum to navel. So what you're going to do when you do that by looking up, so you're going to press up to those arms, make those elbows nice and straight and locked out. Take that tailbone, reach it away, look up, and drop that rib cage down and create that stretch from heart to navel. And then look up, stretching sternum to chin. Breathe into that lower back here. This is a great lower back stretch. We turn that spine to neutral. And let's go up into cat back stretch. This is not part of Moon Salutation, but we're warming up, so let's get that back stretched out. Navel to spine, heart to spine. Ooh, breathing into that upper back. Drop into cow pose again. Feel the difference between these two poses. Navel drops, hips lift. Press up, look forward, drop that rib cage. Get all those stretches down the front of your body in that lower back. And then return that spine to neutral. Go back up into your cat back stretch. Just hold and breathe. Just directing that breath into that upper back. We're really focusing, stretching out those muscles. Return your spine to neutral. And I want you to keep your knees where they are. A lot of times I'll tell you to take them to the outside edges of your mat, but you're going to keep them right where they are, and you're going to come up on your knees. And inhale, arms to the sky. And you can put your palms of your hands together and look up, or you can keep them apart if it's easier for you. Spread those fingers wide and just gently lean back and really stretch the front of that body. Drop those shoulder blades. Let them glide down your spine. As you breathe, let your heart lift toward the sky. Then inhale, arms back up. Exhale back into child pose. Back into that stretch. And walk those fingers forward. If you'd like, your elbows can stay off the mat here. Giving those arms a good stretch. You can actually feel that stretch down your sides. If you press your fingertips into the mat and pull those hips back, magnificent stretch. Feel that belly as you breathe, pressing against your thighs. And then come on back up. All right, tuck your toes under, up into downward facing dog. Definitely part of Moon Salutation. Relax those heels, letting those heels drop, or ankles, letting those heels drop toward the mat. Press into the palms of your hands, pressing the earth away. And lift those hips up. Really get a good stretch here. Remembering, it's maybe time to make friends with this pose. It's an important one. It's a very, very healing pose. Especially with our air quality lately. It's a good one to clear out your head. Now, bicycle those legs, moving one movement to one breath. Inhale, press, exhale, press. And just work slowly. You'll feel it up through the calves, back of the knees, into those hamstrings. Come back to your down dog. And then let's step or walk your feet forward, back into forward fold. Here we're going to inhale, reverse swan dive, bringing those arms back up into the sky, palms back together. You can look up here, or you can look straight forward, and then exhale down. All right. If you have water, go ahead and get a drink of water. Good time. Okay. So, actually those are our pieces. Pieces to Moon Salutation. So, what I'm going to do is when we do a vinyasa, which is a flow, putting lots of poses together and keeping it flowing with the breath. We'll start out slow, and I'm going to think that we're going to do 3 to 5 Moon Salutations, and then we'll go down on the mat. We'll see how we get through it. You guys, let me know. All right, so come back to the top of your mat. Toes together, heels apart. Let's work the first one slowly with the breath. We're standing in mountain pose. We're grounded. We're centered. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale. Release. And then inhale, arms to the sky. Palms come together. Exhale as you swan dive. Flat back, forward fold. Bringing that rib cage to your thighs. Let that head release. Then inhale. Hips up. Straighten those legs. Exhale down. Then step that left leg back as far as you can. Drop onto that left knee. Hands to your right thigh. Taking that left hip flexor into that stretch. Hands on the thigh, and then let them drop to your side. Inhaling, arms up, palms come together. Exhale down. Palms back to the floor, fingertips cup palms. Tuck those left toes under, come back up, taking that right foot back, downward facing dog. You can bicycle your legs here if you like, or just press back and stretch it out. Drop onto your knees. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Press up into your cow pose. Breathing into that lower back, creating that stretch from heart to navel, and then sternum to chin. Sit back, child pose. Give yourself a good stretch. Drawing that tailbone back. Letting that forehead drift toward the mat. Breathing, pressing that rib cage into your thighs. Come back up. Hands come back in. And let's come up on our knees, inhaling up to a gentle, modified back bend. If this is too much for you, just stay straight and bring those arms overhead into prayer. Whatever works. Then inhale, come back down, and now we get to reverse it. We're going to go back down into our child pose. We're going to walk those fingers forward. Come back up. Cow pose. Look up. Let that lower back stretch. Arms are straight and strong, and we're stretching from heart to navel and sternum to chin. Breathing in, taking that breath into the very bottom of our lungs. Then tucking those toes under, walking those hands forward, downward facing dog. Stretch and breathe. This time, we're going to bring that left foot forward. You can just take it. I usually take it, if I can't get it up, if it's early in the morning, just grab it behind the knee and then let that right leg drop. Come on up. Make sure that that left foot is enough forward that you're going to get a good stretch in that right hip flexor. Start with your hands on your thighs. Then drop your hands to your sides. Inhale, arms up. Modified back bend. Or put those hands together. Look up if you can. If you have cervical neck issues, continue to look straight forward. Inhale down. Tuck those right toes under. And bring that right foot forward now. Back into that forward fold. Inhale, hips to the sky. Exhale, down. Now, inhale, reverse swan dive. Bringing palms together and hands to heart center. All right. We did that one very slowly. So the next, let's do two more. The next two, let's speed it up a little bit and really focus on working the breath as we go into each piece. So again, come to the top of your mat. Toes together, inch between your heels. Mountain pose. Ground and center. Inhale, arms to the sky. Swan dive, flat back, forward fold, bending those knees as you come down, fingertips. Inhale, hips to the sky. Exhale, down. Inhale, step left foot back, dropping onto left knee, hands to right thigh, into that modified lunge. Drop your arms to your side. Pause. You can pause the breath. Inhale, arms up. Palms come together. Exhale, down. Come back to fingertips with cupped palms. Tuck those left toes under. Right leg comes back. Downward facing dog. You can bicycle out those legs here. Pressing the earth away with the palms of your hands. Then go into your down dog. Releasing those ankles. We're breathing. We're pausing for a moment to really stretch out our bodies. Drop onto your knees. Cow pose. Bring those hands and wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Press up. Arms are straight and strong. Sternum to chin, stretching. Heart to navel, stretching. You can feel it in that lower back. Pause and breathe. Sit back into child pose. Then come up on your knees. Inhale, up. Exhale, modified back bend. Open up that heart center. Take a deep breath. Then inhale, arms to the sky. Come back. Child pose. You'll find each child pose that you come into, you're going to get a little deeper into that pose. And that's a good thing. Come back up. Cow. Tuck those toes under, walk those hands forward, downward facing dog. Press the earth away with through the palms of your hands. Now, step that right foot forward. Go ahead and grab it. Just bring it forward. I'm sorry, left foot. I knew something was wrong with this picture. Left foot. Drop down on that right knee. There we go. Lunge. Shoulders roll back and down, arms drop to your side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Now, tuck those right toes under. Step that right foot forward, forward fold. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, down. Each time you do that, try and get your nose to try and touch those knees. Inhale, arms to the sky, reverse swan dive. Hands come through heart center. And pause. Take a breath. One more time. Inhale, arms to the sky. Swan dive, flat back, forward fold. Soften, bring that rib cage onto those thighs. Inhale, hips to the sky. Exhale, down. Step, left foot back. Drop onto that left knee, hands to the right thigh. Modified lunge. Shoulders rolled back and down. Crown of the head reaching toward the sky. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down. Hands back to the mat. Tuck those left toes under. Take that right foot back. Downward facing dog. You can stay in your down dog here or bicycle your legs. Drop onto your knees. Bring those hands and wrists under your shoulders, knees under your hips. Press up into that cow pose. Oh, there's that stretch, sternum to chin. Dropping that pelvis, dropping that navel toward the mat is a stretch from heart to navel. Come up. Inhale, arms up, modified back bend. Open up the front of that body. Let that heart lift toward the sky. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, come back down. Rib cage to the thighs. Walk those hands forward, child pose. Use this time to rest and recover or stretch out that body more. I always like to walk my fingertips away. Draw my tailbone back. Then look up at your fingertips, come back up. Bring those hands back under the shoulders, back up into cow. Try and keep those shoulders down away from your ears in this pose. Dropping that navel toward the mat. Then again, walk those hands forward, tuck those toes under, down dog. This time we're going to step that left foot forward. You're going to bring it up about the same place as your hands are, and then drop onto that right knee. Drawing that knee over the ankle, going into that nice hip flexor stretch. Shoulders rolled back and down. Inhale, arms up. Palms come together. Exhale, down. Tuck those right toes under. Step that right foot forward. Forward fold. Let that rib cage rest on your thighs. Make sure your head is relaxed. Inhale, hips to the sky. Exhale, down. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Bringing hands through heart center into prayer. Tadasana, mountain pose. Let's end there. Just get in touch with the body, check in. See how it's feeling. And then go ahead, if you have water, get a drink of water and join me back on the mat. While you're drinking that water, let me tell you something about Moon Salutation. The nice thing about it is that for those of you that do Sun Salutation, you know how we go through Chaturanga and with working the arms and the shoulders a lot. This eliminates that. So it's really nice. It's a nice vinyasa to do to eliminate any pain in the wrists or in the shoulders. So keep that in mind. If you're wanting to do a vinyasa to heat up the body, you know, Moon Salutation on a certain day that wrists and shoulders are bothering you, it's a great thing to do. I will have it posted like that on my YouTube, so you'll know. All right. We're going to transition back to the mat. And I'm going to say have your blocks and your strap handy. So come back to the top of the mat. Toes together, inch between your heels, shoulders rolled back and down. Crown of the head reaching toward the sky. Take a deep breath up. And again, swan dive, forward fold. Step back, right foot, then left, downward facing dog. All right, this is our last down dog. Let's make it a good one. Press, stretch. Then drop onto your knees, come around and sit into potted palm, legs crossed. Okay, let's get that back a little more stretching. Cup your hands over your knees. Make sure you're on your sit bones. And then roll back. Drawing that heart now toward your spine, your navel toward your spine. Your chin is going to drop to your chest and gently release those shoulders away from your ears. Take that breath into your back. Let that back stretch. And keeping that navel tucked tight to your spine, release and roll up. Take those hands out to the side, bring those arms up shoulder height, turn those hands forward. Take a deep breath, lift out of your hips, lift up through the crown of your head. And that spinal twist to the right, bringing hands to heart center and look over that right shoulder. Spine stays active in this pose. Try not to sink into those hips. Keep lifting out, lifting through the crown of the head. And come back to center. Cup your hands over your knees. Inhale, round and release that spine again. Roll back. This is such a good stretch. Stretches those muscles that support that spine. Those shoulders relax away from your ears. Chin drops to the chest. All right, navel to spine, release and roll up. Hands go back out to the side, bring them back up shoulder height. Hands turn forward, spread those hands wide. Lift up out of those hips again. And spinal twist to the left, bringing hands to heart center and look over that left shoulder. Come back to center. One more time. Inhale, round and release the spine. Roll back. Tuck navel to spine, release and roll up. Now, bring those feet together into butterfly. Bottoms of the feet together. Try and bring those heels in as close to you as you can. Hold on to those ankles and just gently, very gently flutter those knees because you're going to feel it in those hips. Even though we've done some moving around with those hips, there's still just that little bit gets to loosen them up. Then you're going to bring the knees together using your hands. So hands to the outside of the knees come together. And I want you to bring those feet in front of you. Hands to the back of your knees. Shoulders roll back and down. And really come up onto those sit bones again, lifting the crown of your head up. Trying to bring that rib cage back. Because you're going to come up on your toes and walk your toes toward you, coming up into modified boat pose. You can point your toes, just let them relax. But try and keep that chest and those thighs pressing toward each other. Core has got to be strong here. Now, let go and balance and breathe 3 breaths. Drop back into butterfly. Flutter those knees. That right foot tucked in and straighten that right leg down, left leg down. Place the bottom of that foot either on your inner thigh, your knee, or your calf, whichever you'd like. If you need a block here for the knee, just to rest on, it kind of makes it a little easier. Go ahead and do that. Lift up out of those hips. Inhale, up. Exhale, and fold forward. Look out over those toes. You've got that stretch again, sternum to chin. And breathe. Let that heart just melt toward that thigh. Then take your chin to your chest. Take a deep breath. Draw the crown of your head toward your toes. Nose toward your knee. Then release and roll up. We're going to change sides. Need that block, move it over. Left foot to the inner thigh. Lift up out of those hips. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold forward. Look out over the toes. Stretching sternum to chin. You also feel it in that left inner thigh and hip. Then drop your chin to your chest. Take a deep breath and draw the crown of your head towards your toes as your nose presses towards your knee. Now, back into that lower back. Remember, exhalations create movement. We have to breathe to stretch. Tuck navel to spine, release and roll up. One more time, butterfly. Okay, go ahead and set that block aside. And let's go down on our back. Knees to chest. If you can, move those hands down halfway between the ankles and the knees and draw those thighs in closer. Gives that lower back a good stretch. Then keep that left thigh tucked in and bring it out over the left shoulder and release this right leg down. Flex that right foot, grounding that entire right side. And then you're going to drop your right hand and place it on your right hip. Keep you grounded. Try and keep that right shoulder down. And then with the left hand to the inside of the left knee, just let that leg drop out. Wind frame pose. Another hip opener. Try not to press down. Just let the weight of your hand do the work. And breath. Breath is always so important. Then take the hand to the outside of that knee. Bring that knee back to center. Take your left arm out to the side. Right hand comes to the outside of that left knee and draw it over the right hip. I like to tuck my hip under a little bit. Gives me a little better stretch across my lower back. And again, you don't have to pull, just the weight of that hand does the job. And just let the breath stretch. You'll feel that stretch across the upper part of your pelvis, into that lower back. Then come back to center, knees to chest, rock side to side. And lengthen that left leg now, taking that right knee toward the right shoulder. Don't forget to flex that left foot, grounding that leg. And just hold, breathe. Left hand drops to the left hip to keep it grounded. Try and open up that shoulder. Right hand comes to the inside of the right knee and let it drop out. Try to keep that knee as much at waist height as you can. Then bring that knee back to center. Right arm goes out to the side. And I'm going to gently tuck this left hip under a little bit. And with my left hand, draw this right leg over, giving that lower back a good stretch. Come back to center, knees to chest. Rock side to side. See how much flatter that space is across the top of the pelvis. Now let's drop our feet to the mat. Make sure you have a block close by. We're going to go up into bridge pose, and we're going to add a little pelvic floor to it. So make sure your feet are hip width apart and press up. Make sure to tuck those shoulder blades underneath you because you want your weight on your shoulders, not your head and neck. So press up, squeeze those glutes to the left. And then take that block, place it between your knees, and press into it. Discover what happens. Ooh, down those inner thighs. Static contraction, making all those muscles strong. Try to take that breath into your belly. You can put one of your hands on your belly. Feel that belly rise and fall as you breathe. And then slowly begin to release that spine down, one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone comes last. Go ahead and set that block aside. Take those legs out long, arms overhead, and stretch it out. Every class I teach, I tell you that this stretch, your body will grow to love as it stretches out from fingertips to pointed toes. So if it's not in love with it yet, if it's a hard stretch for you to do, just keep at it. And take your fingers, intertwine them, turn them inside out, stretch even more down those arms. And then gently bring those knees back to your chest and rock side to side. Place your feet on the mat. Arms out to the side. Take your heels to the outside edges of the mat. Let's do some windshield wipers. Funny name for the yoga pose. Right? That's what they call this. Drop your knees to the left. Keep your toes off the ground. And because we've already loosened up those hip flexors and hips so much, we're not going to take that left foot and place it on top of the right thigh. intensifies that stretch. At the same time, take your right arm up overhead and stretch. Can't hold your breath here, you've got to breathe. And bring that right arm back out to the side. Release that left foot. Come back to center. Toes are still off the mat. Heels on the outside edges of that mat. Now drop those knees to the right. Remembering each side is different. Take that right foot, place it on that left thigh. For me, this is the most intense stretch, is this side. And now, take that left arm overhead and stretch. My back actually pops with this one. And bring that left arm back out to the side. Foot comes back to the floor. And let's bring those knees back to our chest. Rock side to side. Take those legs out long this time. Arms at your sides, palms facing the sky. And let's do a little central nervous system release. So we're going to dig those heels into the mat and start to just flick those toes up and down and up and down. Get that whole body rocking from your toes to your head. And as it gets up to your head, go ahead and let that head bob. And just let that central nervous system, that spinal cord, just let it relax. Kind of puts everything back in place. It's kind of a fun little thing to end class with. Then gently bring your knees back to your chest. Take them out towards your shoulders, hands behind your knees. Happy baby. Flex those feet. Looks like you're standing on the ceiling. You can rock side to side here. And then place the bottoms of those feet together. Drop into reclining butterfly. And bring your hands to your ribcage. Spread your fingers wide around those ribs. And we have our legs in reclining butterfly, so those hips are back opening up. But I want you to take your focus to your breath. And take a deep breath. Take it down to the bottom of your legs. I want you to actually feel those ribs expand as you inhale. And contract as you exhale. So get that breath in through the nose, down to the bottom of your lungs. And then slowly release. And inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And exhale. And then let those legs just straight out. Let the feet flop open for a moment. Palms of your hands to the sky. Open those shoulders wide. And just let your body relax. You can go ahead and stay here. Close your eyes. Check in with that body, that breath. See how it's feeling. Bring your knees to your chest, roll onto your right side, and press back up into your potted palm. This time, the top of your hands on your knees. And let's take a hold of that ring finger fingernail for breath. Drop your chin to your chest, close your eyes. Let that head become heavy with breath once again. And just check in with that body. See what it's telling you. And then slowly begin to open your eyes, letting the light filter in. Lengthen that spine. Lift the crown of your head to the sky. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale, arms to the sky, bringing hands through heart center into prayer. Namaste. My spirit honors yours. Thank you for joining me again for this class. Love to you all, miss you, and we'll see you soon next Tuesday. My spirit, again, honors yours. You be good. Stay cool.